Harry knows good and well that Meghan simply does not need him anymore. Let's be honest, Harry would have to be completely blind if he cannot see that. The rest of us sure can. Meghan only used him to get a royal connection, which she knew would open doors for her, doors that had previously remained firmly shut. But now Harry's not necessary anymore. There are rumors circulating around the press rooms right now that Harry has let it be known to Charles that he wants to come back to Windsor without Meghan, and he wants to resume his royal duties. There's just one little thing standing in his way, and that would be Harry's older brother, William. William is not going to put up with any of Harry's nonsense. And we can be sure that Meghan Markle knows all about Harry's wish to return to the only life he ever knew. They certainly would have spoken together about the final solution. And during the conversation, Harry would be thinking about returning home, while Meghan would just be thinking about the big payday coming her way. There's no real stability in Harry's life right now. Harry is experiencing something that he has never experienced before. He's become a joke, a laughingstock, and he doesn't like it one bit, and he simply does not know how to cope. Harry is a fish out of water. The superficial, fake Hollywood lifestyle makes him look ridiculous. He doesn't fit in. At the LA Lakers game, let's remember, Meghan made sure that she was the #1 attraction. Harry was just an extra. Many people have said that Harry looked bored, and that woman maintained her plastic rictus grin. Harry, on the other hand, he looked distant. He looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked like he wanted to be anywhere other than there. Now, occasionally, when the cameras pointed Meghan's way, she would touch Harry. Basically, she was trying to prove to everybody that they really were having fun, that they're so in love. But Harry just looked depressed. He struggled to show any emotion whatsoever. And as his brother William and the rest of the royal family gets ready for a big historical event, the king's coronation, Harry, who believes he is the son of the king, was at a basketball game between the LA Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, come on. Harry is not interested in basketball, and he doesn't even know the rules of the game. The teams didn't mean a thing to him. Meghan positioned herself to make sure that the cameras could not miss her fake smile as it became stuck on her face, and then Harry's look of boredom was glued to his face. They are quite the pair, aren't they? If the royal family saw these photos of Harry looking like a fish out of water, I'm sure they were laughing. The coronation is going to tell us a lot. Harry is probably going to be booed by the crowds as he comes to Westminster Abbey. I do hope that the TV cameras can zoom in on Harry's facial expression. I'm sure he's going to have his signature scowl. Harry wants to return, but I think there are conditions in place. This just shows how naive he really is. I would have assumed that maybe he had learned his lesson, but it seems like he hasn't. Obviously, Harry is in no position to make any demands on anyone. I mean, none have been met so far, and I don't think any will be met in the future. Harry's not going to get to stand up there on the balcony. There will be no birthday announcement for that invisible child who's probably fake that they call Archie. There will be no carriage procession for Harry either, and no more money coming from the bank of Daddy. This is also Harry's last month in Frogmore Cottage. Harry won't get to sit in the front row with the senior royals. Harry is supposed to be working on more chapters for his book, which are going to be filled with more lies, I'm sure. And you know he's going to be trying to wear a wire. I hope that they frisk him and they find it and they take it away. He doesn't have any more respect from his family, from friends, and the public on both sides of the pond. Essentially, Harry doesn't have anything anymore, and the only one he can blame is Meghan Markle and, of course, himself. Harry's family tried so many times to warn him, but he just wouldn't listen. And you know what? I was actually in a relationship with a narcissist too. I wish that somebody had warned me about what was to come. He ended up kicking me out of our home, the home that I had helped to pay for, and he claimed that I was this unfit parent, that I was a druggie. He took my son away even, and dragged me through the courts for a couple of years just so he could get some money from me. And I kind of look the same that Harry looks now. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know which way was up and which way was down anymore. I had been brainwashed. Now, this was quite a long time ago, and I've gone through years of therapy, and I needed that just to start functioning like a normal human being again. Only now can I actually say that I feel all right with things. I feel happy with my position in life, and thankfully, the son my ex tried to turn against me is now closer to me than ever. I mean, he was actually left with that man, with a monster, and at least he got weekends with me. So eventually, I remarried. I ended up getting custody of my son and went on to have a couple more, and I think I can safely say that we are all living happily ever after. Narcissism, though, is a dangerous beast. I mean, I had never even heard of it before I got involved with someone like that, but man, it was scary stuff. So if Harry can escape after 4 years now, is it? If he can just come back home with the help of his family, I think he's going to be a lot better off. He's going to need a lot of therapy, but you know what? I also don't have so much sympathy for him, because he knew what he was getting himself into. And I, for one, am shocked if Harry really believes that he can just pick up where he left off when it comes to his royal duties. I mean, what charity is going to want Harry coming to visit or have him as their patron? I think that Harry has some real mental health issues that he's got to work on. I would love nothing more than to see Harry finally walk away from Meghan and go live in the English countryside somewhere and get himself some real help. And I'm not sure why Meghan thinks that she's going to do so well financially in all of this. Harry had to have spent most of his trust money by now, and the king is under no obligation whatsoever to pay Meghan off. If Harry's trust is being controlled by Princess Anne, then I'm guessing they changed it to specifically exclude any wives Harry may have. I hope that she doesn't end up with a penny. Harry has also made it clear that he wants to be reinstated as Captain General of the Royal Marines. That's an honorary post that he once held. Now Charles has this position. Harry believes Marines want him back. I would guess they're not very excited about that idea, but maybe they would accept him if Charles puts in a good word for him and puts some pressure on the Marines too. And I'm sure that Charles would pay something to Meghan Markle just to get her to shut up and disappear, just like he paid that woman in Australia to stay quiet when Meghan tossed tea at her, and just like the Queen did when paying off Virginia Giuffre. This is how the royal family functions, after all. When Meghan was so awful and such a bully to palace staff, she wasn't the one who had to pay compensation to those poor employees, it was the late Queen who did that. But at the same time, the king needs to respect the wishes of his eldest son, and he needs to put him first after this weekend. William is going to be king sooner rather than later, and William has shown such dignity in his behavior throughout his brother's awful performance with that evil piece of trash. I think the focus needs to be on the heir at this point. Harry should return home, if only to contain the idiot. We have all witnessed the sight and sound of Harry Unchained. He cannot continue to make such a fool of himself while trashing his family. Royal duties, though, he should never resume those. Addiction clinic and 24-hour security for him sounds much better. Meghan and Harry are well aware of the fact that they are finished. I mean, the thing is, I think there are still some people who do not see Meghan for what she really is. She has told so many lies which have been proven wrong time and time again. I don't even know how she can look at herself in the mirror. How can she even go out in public? Even celebrities at this point don't want a thing to do with her. And the ones who do talk with her only do that because they think it's going to help their careers. And then they ditch her when they come to understand that she's actually hurting their careers. Meghan cannot even get acting jobs because no film studio wants to risk the bad press and the risk of no one wanting to spend their money to watch this horrible Z-list actress who can't even act well. They would lose a lot of money if they invested in Meghan. And I have been waiting for such a long time now for the truth about those surrogacies to come out. All the sugars aren't going to have anything to cry about because their queen lied to them. It doesn't matter what she tries to say, what kind of spin she tries to put on this story. She was the one who tried to trick the entire country. And all for a spot in the line of succession. That is treason. And I think that it's punishable by law. Or perhaps they're going to get away with that too, just like they got away with Harry's visa. And you, what do you think about Harry and Meghan? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share it with anyone else who would enjoy it. And please subscribe.